Hi, this is Georgia Parks. Welcome you to my YouTube channel. I look forward to seeing each and every one of you on here. This is a channel where you can reclaim your life. Everything that the enemy has tried to steal from you, it is time to reclaim it and know that when God is on your side, He's more than the whole world against you. When we look at the Second Kings, the seventh chapter and the third verse of the NIV version, it said, "Now there was 4 men with leprosy at the entrance of the city gate. They said to each other, 'Why sit here until we die?'" So I want to ask you that same question. If you've been going through, your brook has dried up, everything that you have seemed to have accomplished, you at a standstill, nothing is moving forward, nothing is changing, and you seem like life has left you behind, or that you're not prospering anymore, that your blessings have stopped flowing. Well, I want to ask you a question. Why sit there and die? And these 4 lepers, they had been sitting outside of the city gate, and they didn't have any food. They didn't have any provisions. They were just sitting there, just barely surviving, and they were about to starve to death. But then they start talking to each other, and they become to their right mind, and they say, "Well, why just stay here and die? Why not let's get up and move and try something different?" And see, they were sitting by the entrance gate for a reason. Their entrance was their entrance to their new destiny. Their entrance was the gateway to their new life, to their prosperity. That entrance represented moving from the old to the new. That entrance meant that they could go from not having anything to eat to having more than enough to eat. So they weren't just placed at that entrance. They was placed there, but they had to get up and do something. They had to get up and move and go into the city. They couldn't just sit there outside the entrance, because long as they sat there outside the entrance, all their provisions had dried up. There was nothing to eat there. They was just barely surviving and almost near the point of death. But when they got up and they went through that entrance, that's when they began to reclaim their life. That's when their life began to change. That's when they found all kind of provisions, when they found all kind of blessings, more than they even imagined, so much that they had to share it. So why just sit where you are? Sometimes we get stuck in a place and we've been there a long time. Sometimes we've been there months. Sometimes we've been there for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years or more. And we have become comfortable where we are because God provided for us in that place. So we felt like, hey, this is where I'm going to be. This is where I'm going to remain forever. But just like Abraham, or sometimes it's because we got family there. But sometimes, just like Abraham, he had to get up and leave his family and go to the land where God wanted to bless him, where he wanted to prosper him, before he could really get all the blessings God had for him. And see, just like Elijah, God sent him to the brook of Cherith, and he provided for him there. He sent the raven to feed him. He had the brook to give him what he needed to drink. But then after a while, it says that in First Kings, the 17th chapter and the 7th verse, it said sometime later, the brook dried up because there had not been no rain in the land. And sometimes where we are, things begin to dry up. Our joy began to dry up. Our peace began to dry up. Our finances began to dry up. Our health began to fail. Everything just seemed to come to a standstill, and nothing seems to be going our way. We are surviving, but that's all. We are just barely surviving. We are just barely getting by. We are not growing. We are not increasing. And so that means that sometimes we got to get up, reclaim our blessings, reclaim our life. We got to move from where we are. And it don't matter how long we've been there. That's something better for us. And that's just like, the government been talking about, they're going to cut off Section 8. They're going to cut off food stamps, or they're going to cut them back, or they're going to force people to work, even the disabled or whatever. But why sit there? If God gave you a vision of something to create money, something to bless you with, if he gave you a vision of something that would prosper you, or if he told you to move, why just sit there and wait and see what the government is going to do? Don't just wait until things get cut off. Don't wait until things dry up. Don't wait until your resources dry up. Get up and see what you can do. Reclaim your life and know that God is with you. If he tell you to move, then he's going to be there with you every step of the way. He said he wouldn't leave you or forsake you. And then you have to remember that not only will he be there with you, he said you are more than well able to take the land. Don't see yourself as a grasshopper. You can overcome every obstacle in your way. You are more than a conqueror. He said, be strong and courageous because you're able to do it. And so get up and know that he's going to be with you. Don't let fear stop you. A lot of times we're afraid to move away from our family. We're afraid to leave what we are familiar with. We are afraid to leave that place that we've been living in 40, 50 years, that place that we've become comfortable in. So we just settle for less than. We settle for just barely keeping our head above the water. But if we can thrive, if we can run and not get weary, why just sit there and just settle? A lot of times fear stops us from our blessings. And see, the enemy knows that fear is a stronghold that he can use to keep us bound, that he can use to keep us from prospering. But we have to open our eyes of understanding and know that God wants us to have an abundant life. He wants us to prosper. He said that he came to give us a future and a hope. And so you have to see beyond your circumstances. You have to see that God has something greater for you. You have to see that he said all the silver and gold is his. He said even the cattle on 1,000 hills. I mean, he owned all the land. He owned all the houses. He owned all the jobs. So if he send you somewhere or tell you to go somewhere, know that he's not going to send you alone, that he's going to provide for you when you get there. Just like Elijah, he told him to go to the brook of Cherith. Well, when Elijah went to the brook of Cherith, God had everything there that he needed to survive, but he had to get up and go. He couldn't just sit where he was. He had to do something. And that's just like with these 4 lepers. They couldn't just sit there. If they wanted to live, if they wanted to survive, they had to get up from outside that city gate and they had to go through that entrance. So now is your time to go through your entrance doors into your promised land, and to the things that God has for you. He has commanded you to not be afraid. He has commanded you to get up. It's up to you whether you choose to go through the open doors when he opened them for you, or it's up to you to just stay there and die. But I encourage you to get up, reclaim your life, and go through those doors. I was one of those people myself that said, hey, look, I've been living in the same place 40, 50, 60 years, you know, and God blessed me in this area, and I didn't have to move to be blessed. But when the blessings begin to dry up, when things quit prospering, God is letting you know it's time to move. It's time to do something different. It's time to reclaim your life. It's time to put your trust in him, knowing that he will never fail you. That when you put your trust in him, he will bring you to an expected end. He said you have to call those things that are not as though they were. And even though you can't see with your natural eyes where God is going to bless you, you got to believe it in your heart. You got to know it, and know that if he has told you to get up and move, that it is time to get up and move, that he will provide for you just like he did Elijah in that new place. Because everything we go through is for a season, and we have to recognize what season we are in. And when one season comes to an end, we have to be ready to go into the next season. So until next time, this is Georgia Parks. I want to encourage you to join my YouTube channel and look for new teachings in the future or new words of encouragement, and know that God has got you. Just like the man at the brook, that the man that was lying by the pool of Bethesda, you know, he laid there for 30 some years waiting for somebody to put him in the pool. But you don't have to wait for anybody to put you in the pool. All you have to do is get up and move. Get up and go. Because when Jesus came along, he didn't put him in the pool. He told him to get up. So I'm telling you today to get up, to move. If your blessings is dried up, ask God where he wants you to go, to be blessed, to be provided for, where you can prosper, because he has a place just for you that he wants you to prosper in. And when you're in the right place and you move in his timing, and when you are in obedience to what he has told you to do, he will provide for you. He said he will never leave you or forsake you. He will never leave you in the hands of your enemies. But you have to know that you got to trust him, because he loves you and he wants the best for you. So get up, arise, and reclaim your life today. Don't let nothing stop you. Don't let nothing hinder you, because you are more than able. You are a conqueror. You're an overcomer. And God is going to be with you every step of the way. And until next time, this is Georgia Parks. Have a wonderful and blessed day.